All right, Richie, sitting one out this year. So we're going to do a kind of a play-by-play because you've got the experience. You know what today is. So we thought it'd be fun to talk about what's the trail at what. So you did how many times you do the trail? The did ride
11.
11. So what happens right now? I mean, you just left the for us as the pit crew. We sit and have a beer as you take off. What's the day ahead look like?
It's a lot of, first couple hours is running through a lot of crowds of people. It's a lot of fun. Dogs are excited. Trail's a little soft, with all the snow machine traffic and everything. And then, once you get up past Skwentna, there's a lot less people. There's still some bonfires here and
And
there.
how far is that?
Skwentna's like 43. I don't quote me on miles because
but
I'm not perfect with them, but
Well, like how many hours?
it's around 5.
Okay.
So 4.5 to 5. But
So you're getting into dark a little bit.
it depends where you start. But now it's with the smaller field. Yeah, it's kind of getting dark when you get there, and and as it's getting darker, I mean, dogs are obviously finally cooling down a little bit, which they kind of pick up on a little bit. But I mean, on a day like today where the sun wasn't even out and it's cool, I mean, it's almost a perfect Iditarod start with colder temps for the dogs. Be less dipping for them.
What's that mean?
They're reaching down to grab snow to cool down a little bit. So they're gonna just kind of finding your rhythm these first couple runs. But a lot of people camp like within an hour of Skwentna. Some go all the way to Skwentna. Traditionally Pete has stayed an hour or so from Skwentna and camped on the river. So it's gonna be interesting. It's back to 16 dogs. A lot of snow out there, so these guys are going to be camping with fresh teams, and
So what was 16 this year? What was it before?
it was 16 for as long as I could remember, and then for like 5 or 6 years it went to 14, and then they just went back to 16 dog
So
max.
what was the effect of going to 14? Was it less work because you had less dogs to take care of, or how did that play out?
Are you asking like how it affected the musher?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it was definitely less work. It's amazing what 2 dogs. This is my opinion, but not having those 2 dogs in the team, there's there's 8 less feet to booty. There's two dogs you don't have to feed, and then there's the power of those 2 dogs not in the team. Like when you're getting ready to leave, places like a lot of these teams will be camping tonight, which makes a big difference.
So with the 16 dogs, would they go faster?
I mean,
or do they settle into a kind of common speed?
Well-trained team, after a while, they're going to get into their rhythm, and a good musher is going to get them settled into their pace and keep them at a certain speed.
So what's the next challenge? So we left the start here. You're going to go into Skwentna. So we're going to be. How long is that break? You think that camp out?
It's going to be a short one for a lot. 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay, and then so now we're in the middle of night.
Yeah.
And where are we going?
Some will go to that's if they do that camp and an hour from Skwentna. Those guys will camp right there. They're going to go to Finger Lake or just beyond Finger Lake, or even just before Finger Lake. Some mushers don't like camping in Finger Lake because it can kind of get chaotic with a lot of teams there. And then you have some teams who can go all the way to Skwentna tonight, and then a lot of times they'll go beyond Finger Lake a ways and camp. And there's been a few that even went all the way to Rainy Pass. So
if you do something like that, then you take a longer break in Rainy. Then I take it.
Yeah. I mean, doing longer runs, so you're gonna do a longer break. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, it seems like less and less people are doing that these days.
So for you as the musher, you've had this whole week of festivities and meetings and all this stuff. Imagine getting out on the trail. We've always speculated that getting out on the trail was like, oh my gosh, great, I'm back, I'm out.
Yeah,
is that really like that?
It's the best feeling once you get out of the chute and you get just a little ways out of some of these crowds, and you can just kind of and kind of relax a little bit and enjoy it. So there is definitely some enjoyment in this first couple hours too, because there's so many people out there, and it's kind of cool. You know, they get to see your dogs. And
So when you've gone before, you've seen people you knew.
oh yeah, there's always people out there. You know, I mean, right before Yetna, there you always run into Vince Salzburn. I don't know if you know. But
Yeah. Totally.
So he's there. He either has a cabin there, or his friend of his has a cabin right before Yetna, and so he's always hanging out there. So yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk again. About you having really good experience on the trail. So, Rainy is how far you figure in hours? That's like tomorrow, right?
Yeah.